there's lots of interest. So there are buyers back in the market.
Matt, thanks for joining me for our property market update. So
thanks for having me.
February 2026 now.
Already?
Yeah, already. So we're going to recap on what the market was like in January.
Yep.
There's some data that's already come out from Rightmove just about asking prices that they see nationally.
Yep.
Prices up 2.8%, they reckon.
Yep.
So sellers are obviously feeling confident in the market.
Yeah.
How's that been reflected in our area?
Yeah, so I think obviously Rightmove, firstly to clarify, obviously that's asking prices that have gone up that amount. I think it's the largest increase for over a decade as well, they said. But that's interesting. You've got to remember that's obviously pulling in probably all the houses that come on the market very early part of the new year. So, you know, setting their asking prices perhaps in advance and then coming on in the new year. And that's nationally as well. We haven't seen that, I wouldn't say, more in our local sort of Cambridgeshire area. It's still a price sensitive market. And what's happened with January is stock levels are still really high. So lots of houses have come on in the new year, which is typical of what happens. But when we sat here a month ago and we were obviously hopeful for this and hopeful for that for the new year, what we have found is what we were hoping for has come to fruition, if that makes sense. So there are houses that have come on the market. There's lots of interest, so there are buyers back in the market. You know, I think we got to the point that we've got the budget out of the way, interest rates have now come down, and we've got the buyers back, so there's this real interest. We've had a really, really strong January with sales, but that is still price sensitive because there's lots of competition on. Buyers have got a bit of choice still. You know, you're having to be realistic in your pricing. So yes, we have had this news from Rightmove to say, well, asking prices have gone up, but we've also seen a huge amount of price reductions. So maybe people, you know, and we will as an agent, we'll test the market, see if you get an initial reaction. It's about being proactive and adjusting that price if we need to, or like you said, listening to what offers do come in and making that work. It's sometimes funny how stats don't necessarily reflect what we're seeing in the office. What we can see is motivated buyers, lots of interest, viewings are happening. If they're not on a property, it's generally price reflective, so we're then having those conversations with our owners to make that adjustment. And we've been thrilled with the amount of sales that we've put together in January so far. That seems to be continuing to February. We'll have another Bank of England meet-up soon as well, so that might even give buyers even more confidence. I think the best way to look at it is if you're sitting there thinking you want to move this year, and you might be like many thinking I'm going to wait perhaps till the spring market, which is typically a good time of year, or if it's I wouldn't. I'd get out there, go and speak to your local agent, come and speak to us, we'll give you advice, and let's see if we can get you moving sooner, because it might be your best to take advantage of the heightened activity we're seeing at the moment.
Absolutely. And we're seeing similar levels of interest on rentals, aren't we? Because I think in our January update we said the market's gone a little bit quieter. There was more stock certainly on the market, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But that seems to have returned.
We've adjusted that out. You know, we've had a good whole month at sort of filling these rental properties, and so the stock levels are started to come down. So then there is a bit more competition between tenants for these properties. So you got, you know, so that is then reflecting in good prices still being achieved for these rentals, and so yeah, the rental market has gone back to what we call a bit more normal after that sort of Christmas, January sort of slower period.
Yeah, it's just a seasonal slowdown.
Yeah, tenants aren't given notice before Christmas, and you know, people don't put their houses on until the new year.
Great. And on rental values, so do we see them creeping up then this year?
I would commit at this stage to probably yes, because of a number of factors. Like you said, we've still got that sort of competition from tenants and supply demand issues, if that makes sense, with the renters reform bill coming in and all those other sort of factors at play. I can see prices going up.
Because there's potential costs there for landlords.
Costs there for landlords. The budget announced tax for landlords is an extra cost, and everything else like that. And there's other legislation that they need to worry about. So unfortunately, that normally just gets passed on via the rent.
Yeah. So selling or renting, really, people just need to get advice, because it is a turbulent market, really, in terms of pricing. You've got to get it right.
There's lots going on. There's lots of factors to take into consideration. Ultimately, we always try and look at it as as a simple factor of people are coming to us because they want to move. Obviously, there's the odd person that just needs to sell property for circumstances, but generally it's to get things moved. So we are given advice based on what are your motivations. Sometimes that's timescales, sometimes that's achieving the highest price. Obviously, a lot of the time it's a blend of the both, and that's on rentals as well. You know, if you come to us if you're looking to get your rental property filled, or you're looking to get a new rental property, and then we'll sit down or we'll have a chat with you on the phone, and we'll communicate and just try and get you moved, basically.
Great. And how do they get in touch with us, Matt?
Usual. So reach out to your local Ellis Winters office. Go to our website, or call the office, or the email address. We'll put you in touch with the right person, whether it's the rental side of things, the sales side of things, whether you're selling or looking to buy. We'd be more than happy to have a sit down, a chat, have a coffee, and take it from there.
Great. Thank you, Matt.
No trouble. Thank you.